Since the pandemic of 2020, the way sexual content is produced and distributed online has changed. You may have even heard friends or family members joke about starting a feet finder or OnlyFans page to make some extra cash. These jokes may be fun and games, but it does bring up a discussion that I think our society is more than ready for: the phenomenon of the hypersexualized society and what the effects of platforms like these have on our youth and what is the future for our country. OnlyFans is a platform where content creators sell exclusive content to subscribers for a monthly fee, usually ranging from $4.99 to $50. While this content can be a niche like sports or fine dining, a large majority of the content you can find on OnlyFans is explicit and sexual in nature. OnlyFans is a platform that blends social media with pornography. OnlyFans and similar platforms have been touted as a symbol of empowerment for content creators, many of whom are female. Proponents of the site say it's a platform for sexual expression and economic freedom. Because these platforms are getting so much attention, I think it's important to address the effects these websites actually have on our culture. I believe that social media platforms like OnlyFans should be banned in the United States because of the negative impacts they have on our culture. Despite the monetary benefits creators enjoy about social media platforms like OnlyFans, this pornography site masquerading as a social subscription service has an overall negative effect on our culture and on our youth. The main points I'm going to discuss today to support my thesis is that one, OnlyFans is not women empowering, it is pornography, which has many negative effects on our culture. Two, OnlyFans creates a safe haven for sexual abuse and trafficking. And three, a hypersexualized culture disenfranchises our youth and the hope for our nation under God. I first want to dispel this myth that the content found on OnlyFans is empowering. In America, this is a point of contention. However, as a God fearing woman attending a Christian institution, it is important that I stand on my values, especially during a time where less liberal viewpoints are not popular. As a mother of three daughters, I can't help but wonder about the psychological impact this site and everything it implies has on the young people in our country. The public acceptance of a platform of this nature tells our youth that selling content of themselves, doing unspeakable acts is acceptable, and more than that, is a positive experience. While this site pretends to be a positive thing, touting financial prosperity, personal liberation, and even safety, the truth is that OnlyFans is just a small part of an even bigger problem in our nation. The truth of the matter is that OnlyFans is a platform that blends social media with pornography. The epidemic of pornography in America impacts our society as a whole and causes depravity and impurity to abound. It is time that our country stands on the Christian values that built it and stop the normalization of sites like OnlyFans. This brings me to my first point that OnlyFans is not woman empowering, but instead is negative. The content published on OnlyFans is not empowering for women, but rather contributes to the normalization of pornography and perpetuates its negative impacts on our society. Dr. Bernadette Barton, professor of sociology and director of the Gender Studies program at Morehead State, warns that Western culture has become hypersexualized and how that is harmful to society, young people in particular. Barton explains raunch culture, which she describes as the entrance of overtly sexualized attitudes, mores, and behaviors into the mainstream culture. There are several negative effects this hypersexualization causes, including depression and suicide. Because of those dysfunctions, Barton said millennials and members of Generation Z struggle with low self esteem, internalized sexism, misogyny, pressure to be perfect, jealousy, insecurity, stalking, assault, and a lack of romantic intimacy. These psychological effects don't even touch on the real and legitimate danger that's also associated with the mainstream push of sexually fueled social media, and I will explain more on those dangers next. The second reason that the OnlyFans should be boycotted and banned is sex trafficking. Experts say that OnlyFans fosters abuse and sex trafficking. OnlyFans saw major growth during the pandemic, and last year it announced that it reached more than 30 million registered users and has more than 450,000 creators. Since its launch in 2016, OnlyFans has become a major hub for online pornographic material, and predators are able to hide behind the paywall that the platform offers. This platform is unquestionably facilitating child sex abuse material and human trafficking of adults and minors alike, enabling sexual abuse and exploitation, says Linda Nealon, the director for corporate and strategic initiatives for the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. Despite the attention generated by high profile cases, law enforcement officials say the sheer size of OnlyFans and the paywalls surrounding its individual creators have made it nearly impossible to monitor systematically. OnlyFans is largely a black box to outsiders, much less accessible than social media sites like Instagram. Many law enforcement agencies simply don't have the means or the full scope due to budget constraints in order to investigate OnlyFans. This leaves the site unpoliced, and this is just too large of a risk to take. While OnlyFans does have security measures to validate creators, experts have found that it's extremely easy to work around the safeguards that are in place. And it's too likely that human rights abuses will happen on this platform because it is so large and obscure in order to monitor it effectively. The final reason that we need to boycott and ban social media sites like OnlyFans is because it disenfranchises our youth and the hope for our nation. Due to the allure of money and fame, young men and women are being targeted to join this platform instead of being properly guided into an education or another positive path. Our youth is very impressionable, and in this current society, the promise of money, power, and fame is ultimately the goal of a lot of the students and young youth that we see today. Our youth needs proper direction and honesty now more than ever. They need to learn about purity and the light of the Lord instead of being led down dark paths. Sites like OnlyFans make it easier for predators to seek out young, impressionable teenagers and take advantage of and exploit them. Our country needs doctors, lawyers, teachers, tradesmen. I fear that social media is breeding a generation of young adults who are not prepared for the real world and are prepared in all the wrong ways. Due to the negative effects previously discussed about the effects of pornography on a society, it is imperative that Americans rally together and banish social media platforms like OnlyFans, if not for the current status quo and to make that better, for the youth and the future of our country. This is why social media platforms like OnlyFans should be banned in the United States. This platform boasts more than 1.2 million subscribers, and the reach of this platform and the paywall makes it impossible for law enforcement or even OnlyFans to monitor the website with 100% efficiency. So, therefore, this platform creates a safe haven that traffickers can use to make money and exploit people. OnlyFans promotes a hypersexualized culture and puts our youth in danger due to the negative results proven to come from pornography and a hypersexualized culture. This discussion may be one that you're not ready to hear, but it is time that we stand up against social media platforms like OnlyFans that encourage the hypersexualization and the diminishing of our society. I urge you to boycott social media platforms like this, and I urge you to consider a permanent ban on these platforms to ensure the prosperity of our youth and America in the future. Thank you.